learn from you and everything like that. Oh, thanks, Rochelle. Yeah, we forgot.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoopsie. Okay, well, all the recordings aren't going to hear the win.
Better
That's
late than never.
yeah. Hey, at least we like switched co-hosts so we could record. I mean, let's just see the little wins, you guys. That's what you need to celebrate. So we're gonna dive into the content planner, Rochelle, in a second. If you got any tips, go ahead and let us know. For me personally, you guys, I have been really utilizing a notebook again with my content map. And really focusing on what my business needs, especially when it comes to the focused IPAs. So I listened to a really good podcast this last week that was about audience. It was called Audience Fatigue. And she broke down why it is so important to grow your network and having new conversations. And that was really like a big aha moment for me, because I know sometimes we can think that growing our network is like not that necessary or things like that. And really listening to the breakdowns of what she said really helped me. So for me personally this week, that is what I'm really focusing on, is growing my network, having those new conversations and so on. So let's just go ahead and get into planning. Rochelle, drop some or give me some tips.
Yeah, I don't really I'm kind of in a season where I have just not been the most intentional. So my focus this week is, obviously I've still got my content map, but the problem I have been having, which I think a lot of us fall into, is like I will put this stuff down in my planner. I know what I'm supposed to be doing for the week, but I'm not taking the photos. I'm not creating the reels. I'm not batching the captions. I'm not creating the story content. I'm not, like, if my story focus is samples that day, half the time I'm not actually putting samples up that day. So for me, my focus this week is just getting back to being intentional with my time. And when I'm sorry, I'm like losing my voice. When I'm like sitting on the couch watching TV or watching my kids play, or I catch myself like scrolling through my phone, I want to like make it a point to stop myself this week and be like, okay, like, do you have your caption ready to go for tomorrow? Do you have 5 minutes, guys? Recording a reel takes like 30 seconds. I'm like, do you have 30 seconds to hold your phone up and record like a short little reel? Can you go into Canva and can you just create like a new sample story slide right now? Like, the answer is always going to be yes. This week, I'm just going to make sure that I'm disciplined and that I'm doing what I know that I need to do. So that's all I have this week. I've got a lot of like, I can show you lately what you should not be doing. So I'm going to take you guys through how I'm going to be turning this around.
I love that, you guys. So see, we're normal. So when you guys are sitting here thinking like, oh my gosh, whatever, we're totally normal. So if you guys have any questions about the content planner, drop them in the chat. Like, let's say you're not vibing with it yet, or you haven't found your footing and maybe there's a certain area that you're struggling with. Let us know what you're struggling with. And then maybe Rochelle and I can kind of help you, because we both been on the struggle bus. So we know we probably passed that stop along the way. Okay. So we will be able to help you. Yeah, the struggle bus for sure. And you know what, you guys, it's December. It's hard. There's a lot going on. The weather changes. I don't know for you guys, but I live in a state where my weather fluctuates extreme. So I go from, like, we have, all the seasons here in Michigan. So it's dark at 5 o'clock, things change. It's a totally different vibe of things. So give yourself grace while you're going through it, but also remember those non-negotiables. And like Rochelle is saying, noticing those things and saying to myself, okay, I need to change that or fix that. That, you guys, is a win right there. Don't focus on the struggle or what you're not doing. Focus on the win of, oh, hey, calling yourself out and so on. So let's go ahead and start planning for our week. Make sure that you are planning your focused IPAs, what you want your stories to look like, samples that you want, like how you want your samples to look. It doesn't always have to be before and afters. So this is the perfect time to decide, I'm going to talk about samples on Tuesday, but I'm going to show before and afters with a sample link on Thursday, right? That's what we mean by when we say get your stories laid out, or what you want to talk about. Maybe you want to tell a story, that sort of thing. I'm going to try to find this podcast that I listened to last night. And it was talking about choosing your hard. And she said, and she talks about choosing like sitting on the couch versus like going to do this or not wanting to do this with your business. And you think that the hard is actually like doing that for your business or doing this or that, when really by you sitting on the couch or not doing it, you're actually, that is hard. You're choosing that hard because the long term of it is going to be worse than if you actually do things. So she kind of explains things. She got me really motivated. I ended up doing all my laundry once I listened to this. So and y'all, we were behind on laundry. So I'm gonna try to find it on the first tab for you guys. I want to touch on this real quick, Hunter, because I think that's a very good point. And I think we've all struggled with it. I don't want to post much because I'm afraid of what people will think of me. Here's the reality, you guys. You probably will never know what they truly do or don't think of you, right? You may be thinking that they're thinking you're annoying when really on the other end of the screen, they could be thinking, dang, I wish I had the courage to do what she does. They're never going to really come out and tell you, right? So you're making it up in your own head. You're the one that's saying those things. So you might need to dig a little deeper of why you're having those limiting beliefs. Do you think it's because you don't have the like for me, I used to think that when it came to the business side of things sometimes, because I didn't have this insane business, I didn't have I didn't have all these things. And it was more my own limiting beliefs and things that I started putting on myself, thinking, well, I don't want other people to think these things about me, when really they were just my own self-doubts and fears coming up. It had nothing to actually do with that person. And plus, I think I read it in a book a long time ago, and I think it was Rachel Hollis, and she said, what other people think of you is none of your business. What
And
other people think of you is none of your business.
something I always tell my team too is like, no one critiques you like you critique you. So you might, if you're putting out like a post a day, like you might look at that and be like, oh, like this is a lot. Like I'm like a Thrive billboard or whatever, like whatever you tell yourself, people are gonna think this, people are gonna think that. The people on the other side of the screen, 97% of the time are not actually thinking that. It's the same with like people who are afraid to go face to face in their stories, their first, few times. Like I always say, record it, post it, and do not rewatch it, because you're going to sit there and you're going to pick yourself apart. But everybody else who's going through watching that is literally not going to pick you apart in any of the ways that you pick yourself apart. So it's the same thing with like being afraid to, post like, what are people going to think? Nobody is going to think the thoughts that you have going through your head that you're telling yourself they're going to think.
And I don't mean this in a bad way, you guys, but majority of the time, people are worried about themselves. Like in reality, they're in their own head worrying about whatever they got going on, all those things. They're not worrying about those simple things that you think that they're worrying about. So like Rochelle said, honestly, you guys, and I know it's easier said than done because I still can struggle with this from time to time too. But just know it will get easier as you post, right? To open the doors that you want to open, you have to close the doors of what you think other people are thinking about you. Okay, I'm so sorry. I missed that we have somebody new here that's planning Zoom. First planning Zoom. Hello, iPhone. Okay, so we are using the content map, which I don't have mine right handy next to me. Oh yeah, I do. I was going to say I was working off of this. So this is what we are using. It's called a content map. And as you can see, it's got Monday through Sunday. At the top here, it says focused IPA, posting topic, and stories. So if you want to grab a piece of paper or use your notebook, use your planner, do whatever you'd like to do. It's called a content map, Monday through Sunday. And I'm going to give you some examples. So if you want to write these down, focused IPAs are 3-2-1s. So if you're new to planning, I'm not sure if you're new to IPAs and all that kind of stuff, but a focused IPA are 3-2-1s. It's not always a 3-2-1. It could be a 1-1-1, 2-1-1. I like to call 3-2-1s intentionally going to someone's profile to get to know them and start a relationship. So it may be just one story, maybe 2 comments, maybe 1 heart, 1 story. You're going to that person, clicking on it, going there and doing that 3-2-1. Growing your network. So growing your network and story interactions. Those are focused IPAs. So those are the IPAs that we do after we've done our full round of IPAs. So when you sit down, you set your intentional time of when you're going to work your business. This IPA that you choose each day is going to be what you do in the pockets of your day. Okay. IG posting topics. This is where you want to have your 5s list. So if you've worked through the guides in Limitless, I believe they're in Lionhearted too. You want to have your 5s list. That's 5 things you love about the business, or what drew you here, or what you're excited about. Because if you're newer, maybe you haven't gotten all of the things. So it's 5 things that got you excited, or that you've fallen in love with, or whatever. You'll always keep growing. 5 things that you oh, hi Leah. No, that's okay. 5 things that you love about the products. And maybe you're newer to the products, but what drew you to the products? So same from the business and the product side. And then 5 things about you. So 5 things about you that make you you. Like if you think from the outside world, when people think about you, what would they think about you? Like kind of like your branding 5s. It could be like your mom. Maybe it's your fashion, faith. It could be a dog mom. It could be home decor. It could be, I don't know. You can, pick what you want for you. So some topics that you can choose from, you're going to always want to have your 5s lists. And then if you went through the guides already in Limitless, you'll see Rochelle's beautiful face explaining pain points and giving the onion analogy. We love the onion analogy. And that is where you're going to really dig deep on these topics. So these are some examples, Leah, that you can write down. So while we're doing this right now, when we go into batching, you'll see how we use these topics and then batch. So what were your Mondays like before Thrive? If you're newer to Thrive, what do you hope for your Mondays to be like? Like I used to struggle on a Monday and I finally decided I needed to find something that was going to help me not do that anymore. So do you see I'm writing from a standpoint of not fully having the products, but maybe you've already been on the products. Tuesday, weekly pay. What does that mean for you? What does that look like for you? Whether you've gotten a paycheck or not. Wednesday, pick something off of the comp plans 5s that you like. Is it weekly pay? Is it VIP bonuses? Is it whatever it may be? On Thursday, pick a product 5s. So what do you love about the products? On Friday, what has Thrive done for you? So maybe Thrive is already doing something for you or what you want it to do for you. Saturday is how do the products make you feel? Or hoping to make you feel. And Sunday, share about your why. Why are you here? Right? And then on story focuses, some things to start thinking about and talking about in your stories are samples, talking about the weekly pay, talking about why this company, sharing other Thrivers results, sharing other Thrivers results. And then if we have promos, which we normally do a lot of times on the weekends and so on, you can share those promos. So Leah, if you have any questions or if any of that doesn't make sense, just drop it in the chat. So that is what we are doing right now is we're kind of just laying out our content and really starting to pull back those layers of what we want to actually share. And then Leah too, those were a lot of thrive. Make sure that you're also keeping you in there too. So if you're posting multiple times a day, sharing thrive and you is perfect. If you only plan on posting maybe once a day, make sure you find a very good balance between thrive and between personal, right? So just wanted to add that in.
And then if you guys were on last week, I want to add this really quick. You heard me talk about like office hours and, time blocking and scheduling out time throughout your week when you're going to sit down and work your business. So right now, when you're planning your week, make sure you know what you have going on in your personal life. Like what hours are you working that week? Do you have any Christmas concerts? Do you have any Christmas parties? Are you babysitting? Like, do you have any meetings? Like, what do you have going on in your personal life? Put that down so you can look at your days and then you can time block off in your planner what hours you're going to sit down and create that content, batch out that post for tomorrow, record some reels, when you're going to go live, all of that stuff. So make sure you're putting your personal life in here too, so you see like what's going on and when.
Leah, I know that you mentioned that this is your first Zoom. So you'll hear Rochelle and I saying when we go into more plannings, and you're with us for more plannings, that the content map is something that you can actually set for the entire month. And then you can go ahead and use that, because as you're peeling back those layers, this is for everyone, right? You guys, as you peel back those layers, weekly pay can have 4 different reasons every single week, right? What that weekly pay is doing for you. Mondays before Thrive. There, I'm sure, are many ways that you can explain Mondays before Thrive. So these content maps are allowing you to become a little bit more structured with your planning. So you're not always like, what do I got to say? Where do I got to be? All this. And just allows you to really start peeling back those layers. So that the content map that like you are designing right now can be something that you use and utilize for the month. And then you can even change it up next month. And maybe you want to add some things or tweak some things. And then you can always do that and change those, and then use that map. And it just allows you just a little bit more structure, especially for those of you who have the 9 to 5s, are super busy, things like that. This just allows you to really start getting that confidence in building your platforms and your content. So I just wanted to add that, Leah, because I didn't mention that before. All right, guys, keep on planning. I'm going to drop like our normal. This is your background work. So go ahead and copy and paste this into your notes. If you don't already have it into your notes, I wouldn't suggest trying to write it all down right now, unless you really want to. If you're a pen to paper person, more power to you, but you can just copy, paste it into your own notes. These are things that you also want to plan into your week. Like Rochelle was talking about, making sure that you're creating that content. A lot of times when you're scrolling, like she said, catching yourself and being like, hey, could I be in Canva and actually create? I personally, you guys, noticed with myself, and this was something that I called myself out on this week when I was doing a lot of my reflecting. I produce the best when I stay in creation mode. What do I mean by that? When I am creating Canvas, creating reels, walking around my house, taking pictures of myself, because, that's just what I do around here. That sort of stuff. When I am in creating mode or thinking of things that I want to do or how I want to maybe share this with my network or things I want to talk about, when I am in creation mode is when I am in my best self, right? So for me, planning or doing just reels one day a week, it doesn't keep me in creation mode enough, is what I started to realize because I was starting to create content that would last me days upon days upon days. And for some people, that's the way that they need to work. That is awesome. If that is you, I have a ton saved in here, but I also notice for myself when I am in creation mode a little bit more, is when I am at my best self. My business is at its highest self. So get to know yourself too. So these are the background works, you guys, that you need to also plan in. I want to talk about the work with me schedule. So you all know our work with me schedule never changes. And that's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturdays at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 6 p.m. Right? So those are our work with me schedule. If you're in Limitless, you guys know you go right into Limitless, go to the top. You can see all of our Zooms right there. If you're in Lionhearted, go to the top. It's pinned right there. There are a ton of different Zooms, you guys. So Limitless, Lionheart, wherever you're coming from, you got Zooms. Our Zooms are always open to everybody. I highly recommend getting on at least 2 to 3 work with me's. Right? Try to make them work with your schedule. We have the morning ones for a reason, and we have the night ones for a reason. So figure out what works for you. And then we have the weekend ones, and get on them, right? They are so, so huge for your business. And let's say that you just have this insane schedule and you really can't get on any of ours or Lionhearted or all this, we have a ton. Go watch a replay. And like Rochelle said, set your business hours this week right now. And then if you need to, go watch a replay and play that work with me. So it is like you are committed, you were on it, and you have somebody running through it. Sometimes that's all you need is that little bit of accountability, right? So go ahead and plug in your work with me's. You guys know Mondays at 8 p.m. That's our overall Limitless team Zoom. And then you guys can see there's just a ton of different things on here. And then as a leader, checking in with your downline, planning any incentives or one-on-ones, which we always do at the beginning of the month. So I took that one out for today just because a lot of you guys have already set up your one-on-ones with your team and so on. So continue to plan, you guys, and now plan in this background work. And if you are somebody that right now you like to plan it in automatically, like Tuesday, I'm going to do these 3, whatever, however you want to do it, or every night, pick 2 to 3 that you're going to do the next day, right? Whatever you do, however you like to do it, maybe it's sitting down and time blocking and getting a bunch of this done at one time. Maybe it's breaking it up through the week, whatever works best for you in your schedule, get to know it. And then make sure that these things get done. These are just as important as your IPAs, you guys. That background work is so, so huge. couple of things I want to touch on, you guys, especially with Thrive Elite and the weight loss and so on. And maybe weight loss isn't what you're here for. That's okay. Remember, like Lynn's put in one of our things, I think it was this week, was it's not about you, right? So don't be afraid to talk about it, even if weight loss isn't why you started the products, or maybe you have like no weight to lose. Don't be afraid to talk about that though, because somebody else on the other side is struggling with that. Now, let's say you are on a weight loss journey and you don't have before and afters yet, like you maybe haven't lost the weight yet, or whatever. Talk about what weight loss means to you, right? Because I'm sure weight loss isn't about seeing a number on a scale or a size in your pants or your shirt, right? So talk about why you're on the weight loss journey, what you are going for, what the weight loss journey means for you, and how you found a product to help you get to that. Right? Make sure that, I know sometimes we think weight loss is like, oh, you just think before and after, or you think numbers on a scale, or a number on a size on a shirt. But if you really start to think about it, the weight loss means so much more than that. Right? Like for me, it was always about the feeling, and I felt good before I even lost the weight. And to me, that is what mattered. I have lost the weight, and I have gotten, you guys know I've lost almost 60 pounds with the products, and I've kept it off for 2+ years at this point. And for me, I have gotten to this place or this number, close to this number before, but I felt like crap. I looked in the mirror. I still saw the bigger girl. I was still tired. I had no energy, so many things that went with it. And then I started this, where I actually started feeling good before I ever lost the weight, right? I started all of that kind of stuff. And when you feel good, you want to do the things, like you want to go and have the healthier meal, or take the walk, or, X, Y, and Z, right? So start talking about what weight loss means to you if you're on your weight loss journey, but you don't have that before and after, and you feel like, well, I can't talk about it because I don't have the proof. No, the proof is going to come, right? Keep taking the products, keep staying consistent, keep drinking your water, keep doing the things. You're going to have that before and after. Do not wait for that side by side to talk about it. Start talking about what it means for you. Yes, healing your body. I love that, Julie. Yep. Yes, I love that. Start talking about that stuff. That's so good. Thanks, Julie. All right, how are we feeling on planning, you guys? You got your focused IPA, you got your topic, so that when we go into batching, you've peeled back that layer and we can start batching when we go into our batching next. You got your stories all planned out. You got your background work looking good. How are we feeling? So this way we can start going into batching. Or do you guys need a little bit more time with planning? And that's okay if you do. 2 minutes, take your time. We'll go to about 11:15. So take your time, kind of wrap things up right now, and then we'll go into batching, and we'll batch the last 15 minutes, and we'll do how, like, I think Rochelle last week was like 4, we got 3 or 4 done. Something like that. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and just wrap everything up, you guys, right now. Get your last minute thoughts, whatever you need to do, and then we'll start batching in the next few minutes. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and wrap that up, and we are going to start batching. Rochelle, take it
I'm
away.
here. Yep, I'm here. Okay, so I know we have Leah who's new. So Leah, really quick, I'm just going to share with you how I batch my captions. I think it's how a lot of people on here do it as well. I don't know if you're a pen to paper person, you'd rather do it that way. For me personally, I just go into the notes section of my phone, and for each month, I have a folder. So I am in December, and then I'm going to create like another subfolder within that for this upcoming week, and that's where all of my captions go. That way it's easy for me throughout the week. Like tomorrow, I see that I'm posting about like a pre-thrive, like I'm telling a pre-thrive story. So I know I just need to go into that folder, grab my pre-thrive story, copy and paste it, and it's like up within like 10 seconds, right? So that's how I do it. Again, you guys, like if you don't know what you want to say, you don't know what you want to batch for a certain topic, maybe it's just like bullet point some different ideas, different stories you want to tell, or start to type something. Maybe it's not finished A to Z. That's okay. You can come back to it later. But really we're going to batch for 4 minutes at a time. We'll get a couple done. Take this time to really try to set yourself up for success this week, where you just have to go in and it's a no-brainer. You just have to copy and paste and throw it up, right? Like make it easy for yourself. We're getting super close to Christmas. We've got Christmas concerts, Christmas parties, we're Christmas shopping. For those of us who waited last minute, right? We're doing all these things. Life is going to be really, really busy these next couple weeks. So take it from somebody who has not always been the best with this and is actively trying to get better with it. Be intentional with this time right now and set yourself up for that success. Make it easy on yourself. So let's start with Monday, or whatever day you want to start on. I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to set my timer for 4 minutes. If you guys want, of course, as always, for accountability, go ahead and drop in the chat what you are going to be posting about on Monday. I'm going to mute myself, set my timer. Okay, there's the timer on that one. Moving on, you guys know I always skip Tuesdays because Tuesdays for me, with it being payday, is something that I like to just like whenever I open my paycheck, whatever comes from the heart, like I just like to share that in the moment. So I'm going to go on to Wednesday. For me on my content map, it is pick a comp plan fives. So when I'm sitting here with you guys every Sunday and I'm batching my content and I'm planning my week, I always have my playbook right here, which has my fives list and it has my pain points list in front of me. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick a comp plan five, and then I'm going to go to my pain points list and I'm going to pull like a story to tell from there. So let's go ahead and do another 4 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and do one more. And you guys, as we're going through these, like keep in mind as you go throughout your week and stuff, two birds, one stone, whatever you're creating right here, don't be afraid to take them and turn them into like opportunity slides that are like 3 to 4 slides long, right? Or product stories. I do that all the time. I'm constantly pulling from my captions and turning those into story slides. So let's do one more and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. All right, we are about to have the timer on that one go off. Christina, do you have anything you want to add before we close this up? Does anyone have any questions before we close this up? Did you say you're good, Christina? I didn't see you hand signal.
You
I might
didn't
have
catch
missed it, I
it,
don't know.
Rochelle? Come on. Oh, no, sorry. I was waiting to see if anything popped up in the chat. No, I get into my batching. I don't know about you guys, but this content map, the onion peeling, the all the things has really helped me to just actually get more into my content because I was so surface level for so long. So I love what we're doing, even though I'm still learning and like Rochelle still getting to the point where I'm sticking to it, but it has really changed things for me. So I don't have anything to add, Rochelle, if you want to close this out. It doesn't look like
Yeah,
much.
no, I'm good. I think that I feel good about this upcoming week. I hope everyone else does. Like I said, my focus is to be super intentional and catch myself this week and hold myself to what I say that I'm going to do. And I hope that you guys all do the same. I know there is a lot of holiday things coming up this week, so I hope that you guys all enjoy your families if you're doing that this week. Get your Christmas shopping done. Start it if you have not started it yet. You people give me anxiety. Lindsay told me yesterday she hasn't even started, and I said, you are giving me anxiety. I need to leave this conversation. But no, I hope that you guys have a good and productive week, and we will see you guys here next Sunday. Bye, guys.